Day 121, Royal Kingdom, 2 Samuel 2, 1 Chronicles 2, Psalm 23. Let's begin. 2 Samuel 2. And so, after these things, David consulted the Lord, saying, Shall I ascend to one of the cities of Judah? And the Lord said to him, Ascend. And David said, To where shall I ascend? And he responded to him, To Hebron. Therefore David ascended with his 2 wives, Ahinoam, the Jezreelite, and Abigail, the wife of Nabal of Carmel. And as for the men who were with him, David led forth each man with his household. And they stayed in the towns of Hebron. And the men of Judah went and anointed David there, so that he would reign over the house of Judah. And it was reported to David that the men of Jabesh Gilead had buried Saul. Therefore David sent messengers to the men of Jabesh Gilead, and he said to them, Blessed are you to the Lord, who has accomplished this mercy with your lord Saul, so that you would bury him. And now certainly, the Lord will repay to you mercy and truth. But I also will act with favor, because you have accomplished this word. Let your hands be strengthened, and be sons of fortitude. For even though your lord Saul has died, still the house of Judah has anointed me as king over them. Then Abner, the son of Ner, the leader of the army of Saul, took Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, and he led him around throughout the camp. And he appointed him as king over Gilead, and over Geshuri, and over Jezreel, and over Ephraim, and over Benjamin, and over all of Israel. Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, was 40 years old when he had begun to rule over Israel. And he reigned for 2 years. For only the house of Judah followed David. And the number of the days, during which David was staying and ruling in Hebron over the house of Judah, was 7 years and 6 months. And Abner, the son of Ner, and the youths of Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, went out from the camp to Gibeon. Therefore Joab, the son of Zeruiah, and the youths of David, went out and met them beside the pool of Gibeon. And when they had convened together, they sat down opposite one another, these on one side of the pool, and those on the other side. And Abner said to Joab, Let the youths rise up and play before us. And Joab answered, Let them rise up. Therefore they rose up and crossed over, 12 in number of Benjamin, from the side of Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, and 12 of the youths of David. And each one, taking hold of his peer by the head, fixed a sword into the side of his adversary, and they fell down together. And the name of that place was called, the Field of the Valiant in Gibeon. And a very harsh war rose up on that day. And Abner, with the men of Israel, was put to flight by the youths of David. Now the 3 sons of Zeruiah were in that place, Joab, and Abishai, and Asahel. And Asahel was a very swift runner, like one of the deer that lives in the forest. And Asahel pursued Abner, and he did not turn aside to the right, nor to the left, to cease in the pursuit of Abner. And so Abner looked behind his back, and he said, Are you not Asahel? And he responded, I am. And Abner said to him, Go to the right, or to the left, and apprehend one of the youths, and take his spoils for yourself. But Asahel was not willing to cease from pursuing him closely. And again Abner said to Asahel, Withdraw, and do not choose to follow me. Otherwise I will be compelled to stab you to the ground, and I will not be able to lift up my face before your brother, Joab. But he disdained to heed him, and he was not willing to turn aside. Therefore, turning, Abner struck him with his spear in the groin, and he pierced him through, and he died in the same place. And all those who would pass by the place, in which Asahel had fallen and died, would stand still. Now while Joab and Abishai were pursuing Abner as he fled, the sun set. And they went as far as the hill of the aqueduct, which is opposite the valley on the way of the desert in Gibeon. And the sons of Benjamin gathered themselves to Abner. And being joined in one battle line, they stood at the summit of a hill. And Abner cried out to Joab, and he said, Will your sword rage unto utter destruction? Are you ignorant that it is perilous to act in desperation? How long will you not tell the people to cease from the pursuit of their brothers? And Joab said, As the Lord lives, if you had spoken in the morning, the people would have withdrawn from pursuing their brothers. Therefore Joab sounded the trumpet, and the entire army stood still, and they did not pursue after Israel any more, and they did not engage in conflict. Then Abner and his men went away, all that night, through the plains. And they crossed the Jordan, and having roamed throughout all of Bethhoron, they arrived in the camp. But Joab, returning after he had released Abner, gathered together all the people. And of David's youths, they were missing 19 men, aside from Asahel. But of Benjamin and of the men who were with Abner, the servants of David had struck 360, who also died. And they took Asahel, and they buried him in the sepulchre of his father at Bethlehem. And Joab, and the men who were with him, walked throughout the night, and they arrived in Hebron at the very break of day. 1 Chronicles 2. And the sons of Israel, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. Dan, Joseph, Benjamin, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. The sons of Judah, Onan, and Shelah. These 3 were born to him from the daughter of Shua, the Canaanite. But the firstborn of Judah, was evil in the sight of the Lord, and so he killed him. Now Tamar, his daughter-in-law, bore to him Perez and Zerah. Therefore, all the sons of Judah were 5. And the sons of Perez, Hezron and Hamul. Also, the sons of Zerah, Zimri, and Ethan, and Heman, as well as Calcol and Dara, 5 altogether. The sons of Carmi, Achar, who disturbed Israel and sinned by the theft of what was anathema. The sons of Ethan, Azariah. And the sons of Hezron who were born to him, Jerahmeel, and Ram, and Chelebai. Then Ram conceived Amminadab. And Amminadab conceived Nahshon, a leader of the sons of Judah. Also, Nahshon conceived Salma, from whom Boaz rose up. Truly, Boaz conceived Obed, who also himself conceived Jesse. Now Jesse conceived the firstborn Eliab, the second Abinadab, the third Shammah, the fourth Nethanel, the fifth Radai, the sixth Ozem, the seventh David. Their sisters were Zeruiah and Abigail. The sons of Zeruiah, Abishai, Joab, and Asahel, 3. And Abigail conceived Amasa, whose father was Jether, the Ishmaelite. Truly, Caleb, the son of Hezron, took a wife named Azubah, of whom he conceived Jerioth. And her sons were Jesher, and Shobab, and Arden. And when Azubah had died, Caleb took as wife Ephrathah, who bore to him her. Now her conceived Uri. And Uri conceived Bezalel. And afterwards, Hezron entered to the daughter of Machir, father of Gilead. And he took her when he was 60 years old. And she bore to him Segub. And then Segub conceived Jair, and he possessed 23 cities in the land of Gilead. And he seized Geshur and Aram, towns of Jair, and Kenath and its villages, 60 cities. All these were sons of Machir, father of Gilead. Then, when Hezron had died, Caleb entered to Ephrathah. Also, Hezron had his wife Abiah, who bore to him Ashur, the father of Tekoa. Now sons were born to Jerahmeel, the firstborn of Hezron, Ram, his firstborn, and Bunah, and Oren, and Ozem, and Ahijah. Jerahmeel also married another wife, named Adarah, who was the mother of Onam. Then too, the sons of Ram, the firstborn of Jerahmeel, were Maz, Jamin, and Eker. And Onam had sons, Shammai and Jada. And the sons of Shammai, Nadab and Abishur. Truly, the name of the wife of Abishur was Abihail, who bore to him Aban and Malad. Now the sons of Nadab were Sealed and Apaim. And Sealed died without children. Truly, the son of Apaim was Ishi. And Ishi conceived Shishan. Then Shishan conceived Ale. But the sons of Jada, the brother of Shammai, were Jether and Jonathan. Then Jether also died without children. And Jonathan conceived Peleth and Zaza. These were the sons of Jerahmeel. Now Shishan did not have sons, but only daughters, and an Egyptian servant named Jarha. And so he gave to him his daughter as wife, who bore to him Attai. Then Attai conceived Nathan, and Nathan conceived Zabad. Also, Zabad conceived Ephlil, and Ephlil conceived Obed. Obed conceived Jehu, Jehu conceived Azariah. Azariah conceived Helez, and Helez conceived Elisa. Elisa conceived Sismai, Sismai conceived Shallum. Shallum conceived Jechemiah. Then Jechemiah conceived Elishama. And the sons of Caleb, the brother of Jerahmeel, were Mesha, his firstborn, who was the father of Ziph, and the sons of Mesha, the father of Hebron. Now the sons of Hebron were Korah, and Tappuah, and Rechem, and Shema. Then Shema conceived Raham, the father of Jorkim. And Rechem conceived Shammai. The son of Shammai was Maon, and Maon was the father of Bezer. Now Ephah, the concubine of Caleb, bore Haran, and Moza, and Gazez. And Haran conceived Gazez. And the sons of Jadai, Regem, and Jotham, and Geshan, and Pelet, and Ephah, and Shaph. And Maacah, the concubine of Caleb, bore Sheber and Tirana. Then Shaph, the father of Manmanah, conceived Shiva, the father of Machbina, and the father of Gibeah. Truly, the daughter of Caleb was Achsah. These were the sons of Caleb, the son of Hur, the firstborn of Ephrathah, Shobal, the father of Kiriath-Jearim. Salma, the father of Bethlehem, Haraph, the father of Bethgader. Now there were sons for Shobal, the father of Kiriath-Jearim, who saw half the places of rest. And from the kindred of Kiriath-Jearim, the Ithrites, and the Puthites, and the Shumathites, and the Mishrates. From these, the Zorathites and the Eshtaolites went forth. The sons of Salma, Bethlehem, and the Netophathites, the crowns of the house of Joab, and half the places of rest of the Zorathites. As well as the families of the scribes living in Jabesh, those singing and making music, and those dwelling in tents. These are the Kenite, who went forth from Calor, the father of the house of Rechab. Psalm 23. For the first Sabbath. A psalm of David. The earth and all its fullness belong to the Lord, the whole world and all that dwells in it. For he has founded it upon the seas, and he has prepared it upon the rivers. Who will ascend to the mountain of the Lord? And who will stand in his holy place? The innocent of hands and the clean of heart, who has not received his soul in vain, nor sworn deceitfully to his neighbor. He will receive a blessing from the Lord, and mercy from God, his Savior. This is the generation that seeks him, that seeks the face of the God of Jacob. Lift up your gates, you princes, and be lifted up, eternal gates. And the King of glory shall enter. Who is this King of glory? The Lord who is strong and powerful, the Lord powerful in battle. Lift up your gates, you princes, and be lifted up, eternal gates. And the King of glory shall enter. Who is this King of glory? The Lord of virtue. He himself is the King of glory.